This video has been produced by the International Bureau for Weights and Measures, the BIPM, and is a part of a series of videos showing how to use the KCDB web portal. This part presents the TC Chair facilities for the intra-RMO review. The TC Chair, called Working Group Chair within CIM, is the coordinator within the RMO for all CMC reviews. He will interact with the CMC writer and reviewers during the review and subsequently post accepted CMCs for the JCRB review. CMCs are treated one by one. If rules do not already exist for your metrology area, it is possible to define time intervals for review to avoid drip submissions. This is in particular recommended for the JCRB review. You have two sets of screens as TC Chair, those for the intra-RMO review and those for the JCRB review. We will here consult the intra-RMO review. We have two screens available, CMC without reviewer and CMC with reviewer. All initially submitted CMCs becomes available in CMC without reviewer. CMCs that have at least one reviewer that has confirmed to review will no longer be displayed in CMC without reviewer, but will become available in CMC with reviewer. We now consult CMC without reviewer. We will now take part of the screens aimed for the TC Chair working in electricity and magnetism. Please note that the structure is the same for all metrology areas, only the filters on the technical contents will be different. The screen is composed in 4 sections. At the top, a set of command buttons. A set of filters are placed to the left of the screen. A grid containing the attributed CMCs to review is placed in the middle of the screen, and in the bottom are navigation tools and help on the KCDB. In the grid, you will find a number of columns containing information of the CMC. To the far left, the codes N and M stands for new and modified, respectively. Next is listed the unique KCDB CMC code, automatically generated by the platform. It is composed by the RMO indicator, metrology area code, the country code, an 8-digit integer, and at last a hyphen followed by an integer. This last integer shows the version number. There are 3 methods to read the contents of a CMC. By clicking on the CMC unit code, you will access the CMC one by one. If you export a selected set of CMCs, the full content is collected in a spreadsheet. Choose Select All to export all CMCs. You may also compare selected CMCs on the screen by Compare. Here you will have the CMCs displayed as they would appear in advanced search once published. As we still are in CMC without reviewer, we may see that some CMCs have been submitted for intra-RMO review. Some are new and others have been updated. The bold font is an indication that the comment tool contains comments. We will now take part of the contents of one of the updated CMCs. The nature of modifications should be indicated. If a JCRB review is not required, it should also be indicated. We are now in the position to select reviewers. We may choose one or several CMCs and choose one or several reviewers. We will here choose 2 reviewers. The date limit is not firm. Contrary to the JCRB review, there is no consequence generated by the system if the date limit is passed. After validating the date, you may see which reviewers that you have contacted in the grid. The TC chair may also carry out the review. Please notice that the TC chair review represents the final decision. The possible comments made by reviewers can no longer be considered. We will here as an example choose Return for revision for the modified CMC lacking instructions on the modification. The CMC is no longer available in the CMC without review, but made available again for the writer for revision. We may also accept one of the CMCs. The CMC is no longer available in the CMC without review, but becomes available in the screen CMCs with reviewer.
A few days have now passed and the reviewer has accepted to review. We will first consult CMC without reviewer and observe that one CMC is still waiting for reply. If we now consult CMC with reviewer, we can see 5 CMCs. One of these CMCs was reviewed by the teacher chair, Dr. Messi. Heitel will review 3 CMCs, but has not yet given his advice. He has already placed his comment on a 4th CMC. Dr. Callot has declined to review one CMC. She will review one CMC. She has accepted one CMC and placed an observation on one of the CMCs.
Some days later, Hayter has completed his review. The TC chair has learned that Frida has fallen ill and cannot complete the review. It is now possible to indicate an additional reviewer. At a certain stage, it is time for the TC chair to indicate if the CMC is accepted based on the reviewer's comment or based on the expertise of the TC chair. Not accepted is used only in rare cases. It implies that the CMC is rejected and cannot be resubmitted in its present version. One or several comments should always be provided by the TC chair so that the writer may understand the identified problem. Return for revision is applicable when the CMC is not yet fit for JCRB review, but needs some type of adjustment or additional information. One or several comments should always be provided by the TC chair so that the writer might understand what is missing. The number of revisions is limited for the intra-RMO review. Accepted is applied for the CMC fulfilling the originating RMO's criteria and the criteria expected by the JCRB. We may see that the CMCs that have been returned for revision are no longer displayed. Now, the TC chair has a well-defined set of CMCs ready for submission for the JCRB review. The TC chair selects the CMCs to be submitted and chooses Submit to JCRB. CMCs that do not need JCRB review, editorial modification, enlarged uncertainty, or smaller measurand range can be submitted directly to the KCDB office by the TC chair. After having submitted the CMCs to the JCRB, it is now possible for the TC chair to follow these in the screen CMCs from my RMO. Thank you.